until you see what's underneath.
So it's either good, fast, or cheap. Pick two.
Pick three in this case.
I can't believe y'all gonna let this man cut this top, man.
This is a 2006 Kodiak that we cut in half and stretched.
We're trying to take it to the next level and get it back on top of the game.
Wow, man.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Houston has so much going on all the time, and Extensive is thankfully right in the middle of it. To meet rapper and Entrepreneur is a fixture in the southern rap scene, especially right here in Houston.
What's happening, Bill? My man, how you doing?
Man, real well.
Hey, Slim. Real deal, Bill.
What's happening, man?
Good, man. Thank you for coming out, man.
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
Spot.
Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Slim and I grew up in the same part of town, the north side. Slim is known for his custom cars, which have a habit of ending up in his music videos, and he wants to add to his collection.
Man, I got this big dinosaur out here, man. I need you.
The 1959 Caddy was totally futuristic for its time. They even fashioned this thing after jet airplanes. What are you feeling?
This has been my dream car, man, for the last 10 years, and so, you know, it's real special to me, man. It's just such a classic. I want to make sure I do it the best. And I know you're the best in town when it comes to dropping it to the flow.
That's right.
So I need to bag it up and swag it up, man.
Definitely build you a badass car.
If you know anything about making that car sit low to the flow, you know Bill is one of the best, man. He just got that name in the streets.
Plus, he's from the north.
He from that north side.
From that north.
Representing the north. Together, you know what I'm saying?
That's what we do.
Hands down, this got to be the best ass I've seen on a Cadillac. What you think?
Man, no doubt. The 1959 Cadillac.
I want to look like Batman when I hit the block.
That's the best car you could have got to look like Batman.
That's what I'm talking about. What can we do with it?
Man, what can't we do with it?
Well, as you can see, you can tell I love that black. My brother Ray had a good idea. Oh, man, I was thinking black, just chrome.
So black on black on black?
That's pretty much the dress code around here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in too good around
exactly,
here, huh?
Man. You see what it look like around here, man. I got this sore thumb sticking out on me, man, so I need your help.
Man, it must be really nerve-wracking knowing you've got to build a car to park next to a Rolls Royce.
Nah, we're going to make the Rolls Royce look bad.
I have to agree with that. Where'd you get this at?
Pennsylvania. We seen this car online, and we just shoved the dice and got it and got lucky with it.
Whenever a car comes from that part of the country, I get super nervous what could be under all that paint. If this car's been sitting rusty for 50 years, it can make for a tough build.
Look at that, Bill. That's bad.
Man,
That's pretty rough. That bad. Did you hear? Well, I know you're the one who can do this.
I think we're going to take it from a 10 to 100. Slim, when you got to have this thing back, man?
I need this thing by the end of summer, man. I got a real big party for my birthday, and I really want to put and shine on it one good time, man.
Can't say no to Slim.
Look me up, man. Let's get it, Bill. Yes, sir.
That's right. Since I started Extensive 20 years back, on all of our builds, I try to raise the bar higher and higher. Slim has the same rep with his music and cars. You know, this won't be the first 59 custom Caddy, but this is going to be the new gold standard.
Look at this bad boy.
We got to build this car the biggest, the baddest 59 there's ever been. It's got to be like one of his concerts on the road.
What's the game plan?
I want to make this Caddy the future of custom Caddies. It'll be black on black on black. Painting the body black with black chrome. Over-the-top sound system with 32 speakers in all.
He wants to piss off the neighbors when he comes home.
King of the North. he's got to have the king of caddies here.
I'm assuming a 1959 seat's not gonna last for a guy that's 6'5", 6'7".
So here's what I'm thinking. Handmade black interior with custom leather seats to fit a guy as big as Slim. You're gonna have to test drive this one because you know Spy can't. Be able to touch the pedal.
What's underneath the hood look like? Have y'all checked that out?
Tell you, there is no engine, no transmission, needs a wiring harness.
We're gonna put a big bad engine in it, a 6.2 LS with 525 horsepower. And of course our own air suspension with 24-inch wheels and tires. Decent shape except for somebody's 1970 repair.
Well, at least they hit the center of the trim with the screws. Look at this. It's almost like making popcorn.
Rust flaking off a 60-year-old car is never good. Who knows what's under that red paint?
Don't worry about it, Timmy. You got this. You can handle it.
Let's strip everything. Let's get it to the blaster and then we'll see what we got to work with. Before it goes out to media blast, Jamie's gonna torch out the old shocks and springs so we can mock up the air suspension and engine.
I live and breathe this stuff. I've been doing this since I was a kid. My dad was in the hot rods, and here I am. But you don't do this kind of stuff to a new car. Older cars takes a little bit more work, a little elbow grease. Older cars just need a lot more love than working on a newer car.
With the undercarriage tore out, we got room to mock up the suspension. This is where the car is going to sit when you deflate all the air out of the suspension. You see something like that, the Slim doesn't have a choice but to like this.
When you inflate the airbag, it's going to pivot on this point, lower the rear end down, which will raise the car. When it airs out, it'll go back up to where the rear end is, and it'll lay the car out. These heavy-duty U-bolts assure that the two-link is firmly attached.
Perfect. This thing is going to drop super low. We're taking off all the chrome. I've asked Charlie to make that chrome black for Slim's 59 Caddy.
We are fixing to spray some of Slim's parts. The process, we've already done the black on it. Now we're fixing to go in and shoot the chrome. You have to take your time with it, make sure you do it right, and make sure you got the even amount of coats on there. If you don't, it will definitely become splotchy or cloudy or anything like that. So you definitely want to know what you're doing when you come in there spraying this stuff. Now we'll do the black tint to give Slim that black that he asked for. What I'm doing here is I'm checking, because if you don't, we'll go just a dab more. Here we are, 5-6 coats later, and now we got this thing where we want it to be, so we want to get some clear on it, so you can have that black on black on black.
Slim's big 6.2 is on order, but luckily we have a mock-up engine, so we can make sure everything fits in place. And we got a big purple transmission that we can fit onto it too. Once it's all mocked up, we'll know what we're up against. Coming to Jamie's truck?
I think he painted it with them glasses that he got.
Purple Rain tribute truck.
Something like that anyway. I actually like the color. It ain't that bad, but it's just not going to work with what we're doing right here. So I'm sure we're going to have to tear it down and repaint it. Here we go.
You got it, Jamie?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Down just a little bit.
Watch yourself, Jamie.
Man, this ain't going to work. Hand's gonna hit the steering.
Watch your fingers. Is it the purple transmission giving y'all problems?
Ain't the transmission problems, the oil fan problems.
There's no way this oil pan is going to fit as is.
The oil pan in Slim Thug's Caddy doesn't fit. Man, let's just get it out real quick. We'll just cut the pan. We don't have time to wait on ordering one.
Time to chop it up.
Instead of ordering a better fitting oil pan, it's going to be faster to make our own, and ours will be a better quality anyway. I think it was time for him to oil change anyway. What do you think?
That's pretty black, man.
The world of custom creates problems, and this is just one of the things you deal with on a daily basis. We'll get it handled, whatever it is. what we're going to do is cut a notch in the oil pan, create a new line, and then we'll make a custom cover. And all this will give us more room for the engine.
Looks like we can take off an inch.
We're going to cut it back a little bit further, make this line go a little bit further out, and then go down into the deeper part of the oil pan.
Just solving problems like this, cutting the pan, move the pickup tube back. Modifying, that's what we do around here.
That much more. Just the bottom will give it a slight little angle on it.
It's a real small space. We got to get the angle exactly right.
Most of the time, you got to just take a little bit off, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Finally, you'll get it.
Let's see what we got here. That should work. Man, that's notched out perfect. I think it's the perfect angle. I think it's going to work good. The new pickup tube is perfect. The engine should just fit. Buddy! Got something for you real quick, man. You just take this up. Make it look good, man. Not like last time. Jesse's one of our best aluminum welders. He'll make this oil pan work perfectly. There you go. Thank you.
All right, how about it?
Bolt it up.
Crossmember ought to clear here, steering ought to clear here. It's the first time Jamie's had a dance in a long time. It's with a motor.
You got it, Jamie?
Yeah, I got it.
Time, huh?
About time.
Something like this should take 5 minutes. It takes 45 minutes. Ricky's on his way to the shop. He's one of my long-term customers, and he's always up in the game on everything he owns. So as you can guess, we get right along.
What's up, man? Got a little dirty. What's going on,
How you doing, man?
Good.
Ready to do something new, huh?
Yeah, we need to change it up.
This is the 2006 Kodiak that we cut in half and stretched. When we were done with it, nobody's seen anything like it before.
When this truck showed up to shows, everybody's mind was blown. But man, there's a lot of Kodiaks out there. A lot of guys are bringing out a bunch of nice show trucks, man. So I just want to revamp it,
Yeah, step it up a little bit.
Yeah. So we're trying to take it to the next level and get it back on top of the game. This paint's been on there for a while.
Yeah, I know you got a ton of paint work on the inside. You want to repaint the whole thing, change the whole color?
Yeah.
These are from 11 years ago.
It's been a long time in there, man. That's gotta go. That was a gift.
For the record, Extensive didn't put that disco ball in. We never would have. Definitely wheels, tires, man. We got to step that up. The 24s were badass, 11 years ago, even 5 years ago. But, man, we at least got to have those 26s on it now.
A lot of these side-by-sides at the shows, man,
Mm-hmm.
they have everybody in the world with these loud speakers. I guess they're like marine-type speakers. Man, you can't hear this truck.
This isn't loud enough.
I mean, man, it's loud enough when you're going down the road, but at the show, when you're parked and everybody has their stereo on, you can't hear
Some
it.
speakers put in the bed.
Yeah, what do you think?
Something down low so you can't see it.
Yeah, we don't want it gaudy and still can use the bed, you know
How
what I mean?
you like it.
Yeah. Shoot
Not
that.
just loud, but
Right.
that'll keep them boys trying to keep up with us.
Yeah, gotta stay ahead. Sounds good, man.
This brings back a lot of memories from built the bed for it, the air suspension on it, new headlights, running boards, moved the cab back 24 inches and built that center section. First built, this was one of one. That's why it's back, just to stay ahead. That's what we do, stay 10 steps ahead of everybody else. To get Ricky's truck back up on top, I'm thinking big. A set of 26-inch powder-coated wheels, custom door panels, a top-of-the-line sound system, including marine speakers in the bed, and we'll paint this huge truck solid black. Once again, it has set the bar for custom Kodiaks. You know, our paint shop is totally overwhelmed. I got to get somebody in here that does a perfect job, and there's not too many people you can just call upon to drop what they're doing, get on a plane, come out and help you out, but that's my boy Zane.
What color are it going to be now?
Big, bold, black.
It's a whole lot of red to make black.
It's going to be a pain to take care of, but man, it's going to give it what it needs, I think, to really set it back to the punch in the face. Here you go.
We'll kill this thing. Anytime you paint one black, man, you don't want to miss. When we paint them black, man, all that stuff's going to show up. So if anything's not straight or not perfect, you're going to see it as soon as you look at that thing. John and Heath and the boys are going to start blowing some of the interior apart so we can get going on this thing.
These doors here on this Kodiak, they've seen their better day. So what we're going to do on this to get rid of all this old stuff and go to new, we're just going to cut the top of the door panel off and rebuild a whole bottom half of this door. Rock and roll. It's time to update them, make them a little bit better, see if we can't one-up ourselves on this one. Zane is going to bodywork every last imperfection out of a Kodiak and prime it for its date with a midnight black paint job.
We start blocking it all on a hard block with some 180. Keep it in an X pattern always, so anything that's not straight is going to show. It's going to make me look bad, it's going to make Bill look bad, it's going to make everybody look bad. Ricky don't want it wavy, and I don't want it wavy, you know?
Bodyworks Kodiak Midnight Black.
The Kodiak's so big, we're going to use the forklift to get the bed off of it so we can get it into the booth. Now, come on. All right, you can go ahead and pull the slack out. Try to get that thing painted today so we can just keep on keeping on with it. All right, go back. Back. Doing it black too, I like to blow them apart. You know, we're not going to have any nasty tape lines on this thing, so we can really make this thing as nice as possible. The thing about black paint, if it's got any kind of ripple, imperfection, any kind of wave through here, you're going to see that. You know, it's really going to show, you know, how good the bodywork really is out of this shop. As soon as it pulls up, I mean, you're not going to miss it. It's going to look like a big 30-foot long shadow coming through. Pretty menacing truck as it is, but I mean, this is really going to set it apart from the rest of the stuff there. Once we get it all blocked out and buffed after we paint it, we want everything that you see in the reflection of it to look just like it did, you know, if you were looking in a mirror.
We built the suspension and test fit the engine on Slim's 59 Caddy. Are you going to get that trim off right there? We're preparing to send it to Miller.
Bill. What's up, bro?
How you doing, man? What's happening, man? Come on.
Chillin', bro. I got an idea I want to run by you right fast.
What you got, man?
I just feel like I can't see it being the cleanest 59 in the city with a top. This is Houston, man. It's hot out here. Let's just chop the top, man. Chop the top.
Cut the top off.
You gotta come topless or you ain't coming down at all.
You're gonna lose. Let's make it a roadster.
I ain't pulling it out in the rain, so it don't matter.
That's custom.
That's custom. That's custom.
A 59 Caddy Roadster isn't something you see every day. And with all our other custom modifications, there won't be another one like this for sure.
What y'all fellas think?
How about the rolls, right?
No, I'm talking about this.
I mean, you really caught us just in time to do something like that. Because if you came an hour later, it would have been too late.
I mean, it's meant to be, man. Yeah, Let's do it, man.
You got to do a little bit of reinforcing, man, but that won't take a second. Before we cut into any car, much less a rusty one, you gotta reinforce it with square tubing. That way everything stays straight. To change, you try to be accommodating. But when that client's Slim Thug, you just hand him the saw.
You ever cut a top before like this?
You can color in the color.
Just follow the lines. I can't believe y'all gonna let this man cut this top. Slim always been hands-on stuff. I been telling you all the time, man, you can't do that, but you hard here, you continue to do that. That's why we balance each other out. That's right, see? I got the crazy ideas, he the one trying to stop him all the time. That's what it is. Y'all ready for it? Here it is. As I'm chopping the top on this car, I'm realizing that this is really like my passion. Bill, I need a job, man. I need a job. Building your own car, man, just like making a song, is priceless, man. And the feeling of knowing you created something, it's like having a baby. No. It is special.
You know, if this rapping thing doesn't work out, Slim can always come to Extensive and work anytime.
Man. That is. Oh, man. No.
Hey, good job, man. Last couple of bolts out of the body. Separate the body from the frame. Get the frame out. Anytime you strip a car down this far, it really makes you nervous of what you're going to find from the past. It's probably been 59 years since this happened. Man, at first glance, it really looks rusty and scaly, but it's more dirt and grease than anything. As far as the body, this is pretty common just to replace a rocker panel, but my concern is how far into the car this rust continues it goes. You don't really know until you blast this thing to see what's underneath and what you got to work with when it gets back. So I'm super nervous right now hopefully there's some car left when it gets back. Alright. Damn. We're gonna get the frame out to powder coat. And then we'll put the body on the cart so we can ship it off the blast. Let's get this out. Finally, she's gone.
Slim was really lucky to find this 59 Caddy. But you know, Pennsylvania isn't exactly possible to know how bad the damage is until we pick it up for Media Blast.
Looks good to me.
Media Blast takes off all the paint and filler. Hopefully we'll see a lot of metal, but I have my doubts.
This morning, Spot's bringing back the 59 Cadillac from the Media Blaster. It's the moment of truth. Today we're going to see how bad the body damage is.
All right, yeah, we got a lot of work here.
59 years old is definitely showing a little age.
Yeah, a little bit.
Robert is one of the best metal workers in town. He's been doing it longer than me. Not many people can say that in this town.
We can replace this whole panel.
Yeah. Man, this car's about as old as you are.
Nice.
I've been doing metal work since high school, 86, on my Volkswagen. Just evolved into anything I can imagine I build.
Just cut that whole thing out.
Yeah. That was all covered up with Bondo?
Yeah, man, Bondo was out to about here.
So it's either good, fast, or cheap. Pick two.
Pick three in this case.
We get it. We're starting the floors. Get the floors right. And to match the other side. Some folks just throw a piece of metal in here and weld it up, but to actually do it right, it takes the time. And when you get done, you get a better product. Now we clear coat it in. Everything underneath is coated. So now what we'll do is we'll start welding it in. There's no quick easy with sheet metal. It's either right or it's not right.
Last but definitely not least, Heath and John are getting rid of that disco ball in Ricky's Kodiak.
Hey, check it out, John. You light up my life.
Nice. Hey, I like to party.
Well, here we go. Bye-bye.
Bye, party.
Bill didn't want a disco ball, so what we had to do is make something to cover up the hole. Got a piece of panel board that we went ahead and curved to match the radius here. And then we're going to have an insert with the extensive logo right in the center. It's going to be raised up in some vinyl in the back. All look really cool. Ricky's really loud. He wants something loud when he's at the car shows. What we want to do is add these 4 waterproof speakers to the bed. We don't want to drill any more holes in the bed side, so we're going to use the toolbox that's already there. Put an end brace, the pipe will go in the middle, we'll weld that out, and then send it off to paint. And these guys are going to bolt it in. We have the 4 speakers will mount to that curved bar. This should finish off the bed of the truck, and we're ready for Ricky to see it.
You know, Ricky is one of my all-time favorite customers. And today he's coming back to check out his Kodiak. I can't wait to show him what we did to him.
What's up, man?
What's happening, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
Doing all right?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good.
Man, I got a couple surprises for you today.
Hopefully one of them's my truck.
Well, yeah, one of them is.
Awesome. Where is it, man?
Let's check it out.
Oh, that's not the same truck, man. It's tucking a whole bunch of wheel on the front and the back now. God, dog, those bigger wheels made it look so much better. That looks brand new, man.
I mean, right then, you know you did a job well done.
This bumper and the lights and the grill, awesome, man.
Like brand new, huh?
Hell yeah, man. Whole different truck, man.
Man, it is. It's bad.
First and foremost, the big 26-inch
Oh, man,
wheels,
they look awesome, man. I love them.
Totally makes this thing look night and day different.
Really does, man.
Still hook anything you want to it. The load rating's there on the back.
Good to
You
go.
can't kill
Cool,
it.
whatever.
Man, whatever you want, man.
I love the color.
When you do the black right,
It looks good,
You see,
man. That paint is so sick. You can see yourself in that paint from 30 to 40 feet away. It looks like a piece of glass rolling by.
Man, you want to check the inside out?
Man, shoot, yeah.
Keith and John ripped out
dog,
all the old
man.
door panels and everything. They rebuilt the whole thing. This part of the door panel replicates the headlights on the front, so it has that nice little
Man, that's sick,
swoop
man. I
in the
see it
front.
now.
And here's all redone too, Ricky.
Nothing looks the same.
Had to get rid of the disco ball you had in there.
man, that disco ball spun and spun and spun until it finally spun itself out of the truck. We just let it keep spinning down the road.
I'm kind of happy it's gone myself, but man, it looks so much better with that extensive logo in there. And that truck is badass.
Man, all new stereo system. We know how you like to just be louder than Ricky.
Remember though, Ricky was saying he wanted a little bit louder outside?
We mounted 4 8-inch full-range marine-grade speakers in the back of the truck.
God,
They don't
dog,
hurt,
man.
They don't hurt to get wet, and nobody is gonna drown you out over these, man. Spot, crank it up, man. Let's hear it.
All right.
God, dog, man.
Ain't nobody gonna have a louder one than that, Rick.
Can't hear you. What'd you say?
I mean, you can hear this from a mile away.
Man, you can put a tarp back here and fill it with water and have a hot tub with your system in it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, my guys just kill it on every project. The new door panels, the sound system, the speakers in the bed, the wheels, the tires, the paint, which is a lot of paint on this. And Ricky he's in love with the truck.
Man, I can't wait to take it on a ride.
I got one more surprise for you.
Oh, yeah?
I know how you're a fan of rap music, so we're going to use this to pull Slim Thug's new car to his party.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. So if you're from Houston and you're not a fan of Slim Thug, you're crazy.
Let's do it, man.
Sounds good, man.
Much bodywork left on Slim's 59 Caddy. Robert's done with the floor pans, but he needs to completely replace the damaged side panel.
This was filled up with body filler before after this bad wreck, so all this metal has to go. This will all be brand new, just like it was from the beginning.
work on the 59 Caddy, but Robert still has a long way to go to make this the futuristic, one-of-a-kind roadster that it wants to be.
This is the English wheel. When you run the metal through here, you can get the contour of the roll and spread it throughout the panel. And this will give me the bend, make the panel lay right on top of what's there, so we can cut it out and replace it, and it'll be all brand new. Well, we don't need this anymore. We've coated everything with the aluminum since we're never going back in. So that way we'll never have to worry about rust. So now we're ready to Cleco our piece in and cut it in and weld it. And then when I tack it, the little piece that we're Clecoed to will fall off on the inside. Okay, so our panel's welded in now. Just got a few high spots to worry about. We'll take care of them and it'll be all new, one panel all the way down. Lay the wire on here. It kind of conforms to the body. It'll tell you where the high spots are, where there's going to be a little filler at. And it looks like we're going to be good right here.
Cutting the roof off the Caddy was the right call, but it created a whole lot more work. Because there's no windows, Robert has to form some metal to cap the doors to hold it all together.
59 Cadillac now is sunny weather car, can't drive it in the rain. So we had these caps made, fit right in here like this, be welded down smooth, ground, ready for paint. Seal welded now, it's welded solid, smoothed out, it's ready for some body filler.
It was original and what's custom.
We have put in so many hours into making this car perfect. I've sanded on this car until my fingertips started bleeding. You know, when you spray any other color, you get away with a lot of stuff, but black, it has to be flawless from start to finish all the way through.
After weeks and weeks of work on Slim's Caddy, it's finally ready for Charlie to paint it black on black on black.
We're gonna do about 12 coats of paint. It's gonna be like he's gonna be rolling up on a huge black diamond. It's gonna shine so bright. His car will stand out next to any black car that's parked next to. Growing up, I was listening to Slim Thug while painting cars, and now here I am painting his car, you know, so that's a really cool thing right there for me.
You know, I really hate when you see a car with just speakers crammed everywhere. I've asked John to find a way to hide all those 32 speakers in Slim's Caddy.
We're having to squeeze 10 subs in the trunk. The trunk I'm having to do is build it in two pieces and actually bolt the two halves together to make one entire enclosure. So when you open the trunk, all you're going to see is trunk. You won't see any of the equipment. Box fits, that's always a plus. To run it all, I got 6 visible amps and I got 2 more hidden in here somewhere. This piece here is going to cover up batteries and everything else and hold the other set of speakers that go in the trunk. Lucky enough, everything I've worked on so far is fit, so now that I got the trunk looking good, it's time to hide 4 more speakers in each door panel. So once I get my baffle in here, I'm gonna have to deaden this. You know the cars you see on the streets, when they've got so much bass, the car sounds like it's about to fall apart. But what we're doing with the deadener is we're gonna stop that. We're gonna make sure we don't have any rattles anywhere in this car. All we want is music coming out of this car. We'll get 3 or 4 layers in some spots just to make sure that we have enough density in the door so that we don't have any kind of flex or anything in the panels. All right, so we've got our baffle mounted. Everything's boxed in. We've got all of our deadener in the door. Next thing we're gonna do, we got a base plate made. We'll make another piece out of 3/4 inch MDF. We're gonna flush trim that. We're gonna go to work with the grinder and make some cool shapes out of this. First, with the door panel some depth, I'm going to be grinding from one edge to the line, from the other edge to the line, bringing a ridge around the top. It'll have a couple of lines in it instead of just a single line. That'll look pretty cool. All right, so there's the door panel all done. Speakers will be in this area here. We'll make a grill to cover it. Cover that in black grill cloth so you'll never even know that the speakers are in the door. Wrap this in leather, get it in the car. We'll move on to the next panel.
When I was like 14, a guy in my little hometown had a little truck that he would drive through the middle of town. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'd make my mom go by this guy's house and his truck would be in the driveway, and I'd be like, oh man. He and I became really, really good friends for 30 years now, and that's how I got into the car scene. This here is my personal 2008 Chevy Silverado. It was a standard crew cab truck that Bill said, hey, let's take an extended cab and the crew cab. We'll cut the whole pillar out, and we'll make that door latch into this one, make this one latch so you can open up the whole truck and there's no pillar in the center. Many of guys have tried to duplicate that, but it's never been pulled off again. You can build anything you want to build. You want to be above and beyond. You want to set the bar kind of where you show up the next show and everybody's like, golly, just like, what do you have? It's just cool to kind of have the tools and facility to be able to take the crazy ideas and take them to reality.
Slim 6.2 LS black to match the rest of his Caddy. Matt's wiring it all up to give it a test fire.
Fire it up. Hell yeah. Clear?
Yeah. Good job, man. Good job. The 525 horse. Oh, Slim gonna be happy. You know, at the very end of a big job, sometimes it comes together all at once. And that's exactly how this one's going down.
Car jams, everything's hidden, nice clean lines, everything's smooth and sleek. Turned out real nice.
Today's the day, man.
Oh my God. Slim been driving me crazy about this whole car.
I've been wanting a 59 Cadillac, man, since I can remember.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Slim Thug's having a party at his house today. Man, he's about as ready can be to see his car.
I can't wait, man. Come on.
That old dinosaur. That sore thumb.
We're gonna see what type of superhero you are, Bill.
I feel the pressure.
Man, Bill.
Y'all ready to check it out?
Yeah. Let's get it. Oh, man, look at that. Man, Bill. Sick, bro. This has far surpassed my expectations, man. I'm so happy with this. I really feel like I got my own personal Batmobile.
Man, last time you seen it, you was over there cutting the roof off.
Right. I told y'all it was a good idea. Now look at it. Man, y'all took this car to a whole new level.
Front to back, you see how slick this thing is and how much time and effort has been put into each and every piece of this car. Powder-coated frame, every panel's blown apart. Bodywork, there's not a lick of rust on that thing.
I feel like I'm in a dream right now. The paint, man, it's look like a candy black. When you look in it, you can just see so far into it. It's like a mirror.
Black chrome trim.
Black on black on black. That's what we asked for.
It don't get blacker than this.
Right, man. Black chrome came out pretty
Nice.
good.
Real nice. I like it.
I was a little nervous because I ain't never see how that was gonna look, but it really gave it a new feel. Sick, bro. Sick.
Of course, we had to have the air suspension on there, man.
Bag them up.
You gotta have it low and ride smooth.
Low to the floor.
Nice.
24-inch wheels. And Slim, I know you wanted them 24s.
Had to.
Man, them fours just look good.
Black with the black chrome on it, get a little contrast on the
yeah.
wheel too. People are gonna see this car and have to step their game up.
That's it, man.
We built his dream car for him, and that is a good feeling.
Wow. Man.
And 8,032 speakers, all hidden. You don't see anything in here.
I can't wait to hear this, bro. I see how the interior match everything.
Yeah, man.
Front to the back.
The interior guys just killed it. It's all handmade. But of course, black leather and suede.
Seats are sick.
The door panels all been refashioned to get all that music inside the door.
Wow, let me get in here, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
It's the
man.
seat back.
Yes, sir.
It's all Bluetooth, man. Just take your phone out, hit it.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Real Deal Bill executed to the fullest.
Man, didn't he?
Big shout out to Real Deal Bill. He the coldest in the game. It sounds like a concert on wheels.
I know you want to see the heart of this thing. And the LS3, the 525 horseman, get
That's
down.
crazy, man. I could drive this thing to New York, huh?
Hell yeah.
Bill, you killed it, bro. Well, I guess the only thing left now to do is drive it. Let's hit the block, man. Let's do it. It's a real dream come true right here, bro. Finally, getting to drive my dream car old school, man.
I'm so proud of all my guys at the shop. No matter what the task is, they kick ass.
There's already something you don't see. But what you done did to this, man, for sure head turner everywhere we go, bro.
Well, that's what it's all about. We're going to make it 22 inches, the bag's completely full. We get a ton of pipe, start rolling, and chop it up. The tube work is going to be right at eye level. It looks like a sculpture after it's done.
Oh, that was 28.
Yeah. This 2016 Escalade is super luxurious, and we're going to add tons more power to this.
You're just going to leave every other Escalade in the dust.
Oh, my God.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
This shop is built on the diversity of the custom cars we work on. That's what keeps us on our toes. That's what keeps. What are you doing, man?
I'm stalking for mosquitoes.
I've known Tom a long time. He owns a construction company and says driving around in a big old custom truck is great advertisement for his business. How you doing, Tom?
How you doing, man? Good to see you. A long time. It's been a minute. It has.
Love your entrance, man.
Bill's a really good friend of mine. We grew up together on the north side of Houston. He's the guy to go to if you want something done custom.
What are we doing?
Trying to get this thing lifted up. It's got to be real high, though. I need to be in the clouds.
This is a stock Ford F-250 straight off the showroom floor. This one has a 6.7-liter turbo diesel with 925 foot-pounds of torque.
When people first see this truck, I want them to be completely blown away at how do we do that.
So huge wheels, huge lift, 4-link with the big bags.
Definitely.
Color match the suspension.
Yeah, man.
There are a lot of aftermarket lift kits available for the F-Series truck. Man, we're going to make this one different. I mean, we're going to make it adjustable, classy. This is going to be the coolest truck around.
I need it to be down when I'm in town and up when I'm off-road.
So just go all out on it.
Go all out.
Like custom bumpers.
Custom bumpers. Got to be color matched. With it because it's easy to go crazy with them. It's got to be something that you've never done before. It's got to be something that nobody's ever seen.
Nice. So the inside, I know you want the crazy stereo. subs under the seat.
The sound has got to be loud.
It's awful dark in here, so we need to brighten it up.
Interior is so important. That's where I spend all of my time. I need this build to be something special, not only in the city and on the streets, but more importantly in the mud park.
Tom, you know we're going to take care of you on this.
I know you are.
Well, let's go do some paperwork. Man, I love the challenge of making a custom lift. The key for me is building it high enough so people will take notice. When people are looking eye level at this lift, it'd be like looking at a sculpture, while keeping the off-road performance. That way you can go out and still get a little crazy.
So what's this?
We got the new 17 250 4-wheel drive
And platinum.
So we want to take it a few steps up. Outside the airbags and shocks, we're going to hand make everything else. We're going to start with the frame down air suspension. 22 inches with the bags completely full.
Air suspension.
We're talking fender well up here.
I can walk under it?
Tim can walk under it.
So 6-inch lift.
Tim can walk under it. We'll color match some parts with a pearl white. We'll chrome the rest of the parts for a high contrast shine. We're having 28-inch billet wheels with a 42-inch tire so it can ride even higher.
28 by 42?
It's a custom one-off wheel created just for this truck.
So what about the inside?
We'll just cut the bottom half of the door panels off. We'll put speakers in the door panels and build a see-through console, which extends all the way to the back seat, with 3 big woofers that are lit with LED lights.
What about back here? Anything in the bed?
Tom wants his truck lifted and loud, so we'll put 4 8-inch full-range marine-grade speakers in the bed. Just something that looks super classy, but just is super loud.
Gotcha. Bumpers?
We're also modifying the exterior of this truck with a custom set of bumpers for the front and the rear.
Just big on this.
Exactly. And the sooner we get it done, the sooner we can take it to the off-road park and go check it out.
Oh, let's get it done immediately.
Today.
Tear all the interior out of this.
Awesome. While the F-250 is still on the ground, now's a good time for Heath and Tim to tear out the interior.
These things are tight. On the old classic cars, everything's metal, bunch of Phillips screws. New cars, I prefer to use just a regular hand ratchet. It takes a little longer, but I don't break nothing.
There she goes.
Now we got her off. We're trying to get the console out right now. Gone! I'm just glad we're doing all this before it's 4 feet up in the air and my big ass can't get in here no more.
We're going to build a whole new air suspension for this truck. We have to get rid of everything stock, from the wheels, the springs, the shocks, the mounts, anything to do with stock. We're going to make a clean slate on this frame so we can start it from scratch.
Jamie's a real wild man. He just comes together, gets it done, gets ready to go on the next one.
There's so much stuff in the way. It's got to be really behind that proportion valve. And I'm going to score it right here and break the weld.
Was it hood time?
It's hood time.
We're going to need to clean the frame rails to weld our suspension to. So John is burning off all the stock suspension brackets. Once John's done, I'll follow him with a grinder. I'll grind all this down smooth so we're ready for the new brackets. Now that we tore out all the stock spring suspension, we're going to measure for all the parts we need for the lifted air suspension. This truck is basically riding on air, which is a way smoother ride than springs. It's a super technical build, and we got to be right on the money. That's 21 inches between the center of the axle to the ground. So we had it right on the money. Tall
This thing's
tires.
a little crazy with the 42s, the 28s.
Going to have the first set in the world.
I'm excited about this.
47.
You got 47.
All right, I got y'all's pieces.
Rudy's fabricated the axle mounts for the 4-link. That gives us a solid place to mount the suspension to the axle.
Perfect, man.
That'll work.
Yeah, 5/8.
Yeah.
Now we're going to install it. Super critical to get all this right so the drive line stays right. You don't have any vibration going down the road, so it's key to get this on the money. A little bit more back.
That'll work.
Right now I'm designing the drop-down bracket on this truck. That allows the pivot points to drop down to keep the 4-link more in line. And man, you're going to need a ladder to get in this truck. We'll tape our poster board to the frame and kind of figure out where the pivot point's going to be. It's too bad we don't have some laser scanner. I don't use AutoCAD. I just use pen and paper. We just do it the old-fashioned way. The advantage of that is I see the end result in real time. We're trying to figure our pivot points out on the frame itself, so everything's going to articulate on the rear end and the frame. I think we're good with the pivot point here, so we're pretty much set up. We can give this to Rudy, start burning some plate, start building this thing. Check it out, Rudy.
See what you got.
Now it's up to you to make me one whole plate here that bolts onto the whole side of the truck. I want it to hold the back part of the 4-link, the front part of the 4-link, and just some nice style to it here.
You want these holes punched out?
3/4.
Got some big old heims going on there?
That's right.
So I got my template that Bill gave me. We're gonna go draw it up on the computer. So this is pretty much the backbone of the truck. This is what's gonna hold the whole truck up together when it's whipping around in mud, jumping, or whatever he wants to do with it. This will hold the whole truck intact. So we gotta make sure it's nice and perfect, and nice and strong too.
Burning out the drop-down brackets on Tom's F-250 right now. Man, this thing allows us to get higher. It adds a ton of strength and rigidity.
All right, so we got our piece for the F-250 cut out. All we gotta do now is just punch our holes for the 4-links. We need to punch them and not cut them out because we want some real clean holes.
Hell yeah. Now we're gonna test fit the bracket. This bracket will basically drop down the frame rail. That way we can extend the lift even higher.
So tightening that gap up, Lulu?
It's going.
I love being out in the shop. I love getting dirty, welding, grinding. I can't stand being in the office, answering the phones, doing paperwork. I hate it. I love being out with the guys. That's my passion. That's what I'm going to do till I die. Man, everything's proportioned perfect, man. I love it. This will be powder coated. Really going to bring some color down in the frame. It's just really, really going to look good. And it's strong. Lindsay is an old friend. We've customized a few trucks for him in the past. And let's just say he's enthusiastic. What up, dog? What's happening, man? Hell yeah.
Good seeing you, man. Wow. Look at all slim and trim. When I first met Bill, he had an S10 pickup, and he had welded like this triangle thing on the door with a tire so he could turn sharp and drive through the neighborhood sideways. That's when I first met Bill.
What you got? This 2016 Escalade is a 6.2-liter V8 and 420 horsepower. It's large and luxurious, but at this point, it's just equipped for getting the kids to soccer.
I got the bells, the whistles, the distles, the tristles, I got it all. I mean, it has anything and everything an ordinary person wants, but if you have Bill in your life, you're not ordinary. You know, I can't look like every other soccer mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta make it look just nasty.
First thing we gotta do is put a supercharger on it. Give him about 100 or so extra horsepower to the rear wheels. I know you want that.
Because it already has a lot of power, but like, it's gonna be over the top power. Redonkulous power. I'm pumped.
We gotta lower this thing.
Ooh, okay. So when we lower it to the ground, it's easy for me to step and slide and ease right out that joint.
Man, new wheels, new tires. We gotta put the billet 26s on it.
What else? What else?
Come on, a little contrast on the trim.
Okay.
You know, something that totally sets you apart.
See, that's what's wrong. That's why, people, I'm addicted to the extension. I gotta have me some Bill love.
Man, the grill, we gotta have you a custom grill in it. That's the first thing you see when it's coming at you.
Once Bill puts his hands on it, it's gonna be fly. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna ride, and everybody can see me extensified. Yeah, let's do it, dog. Come on.
Man. You need to drive the van?
Yeah, I'll drive the van. Temporary.
You know, these trucks are already over the top. They're super luxurious. The 6.2 in this is plenty of horsepower. But man, we're gonna set this apart, bring it to the next level, and add tons more power to this. When you see Lindsay coming down the road in this is just going to be over the top, just like Lindsay.
Well. Is this whose I think it is?
Oh, Lindsay. He wants us to hook him up. My plan is to add to the Cadillac's luxury with a little more presence and muscle. We'll start by adding a supercharger to the engine, and that should add around 100 horsepower.
Is he wanting like diamond encrusted bezels for the headlights and around the grill?
Man, he probably like that, but we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
To make this truck one of one, we're gonna take all the chrome off and spray every bit of it so it looks like an anodized black. And we'll add a new grill and paint that too.
Anodized black wheels?
Everything. You gotta really have a nice contrast, you know, no crazy red or blue or something like that on it.
Keep it classy.
Just classy and still stand out. You know, he wants to be able to drop his kids off and still take this out to the club. We'll fill the fender wells with custom 26-inch billet wheels. And it'd be like no other Escalade around. Let's just say Lindsay is really passionate about...
Excited when he just walks in the office.
Good luck, buddy.
I'm on it.
We've never installed a supercharger on this model Escalade before, so I asked Justin to take the lead on this one.
So what's the game plan for this one?
Man, this dude's over the top. He wants something he can get in and just smoke the tires off this thing.
Thinking supercharger?
Yeah, but he's got to have something next level. I know how you get down with that tube work. Okay. So I want you to build him a custom air intake, man. So when he pops the hood, he can see that we handmade him something just for him.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let's knock it out.
We're going to start removing some of the factory components out of the way. The type of supercharger it is, it's a centrifugal is what they call it. It increases the output speed of this impeller somewhere in the 60 to 70,000 RPM range. And in doing so, it creates boost. So when I'm done putting this thing on here, it's going to leave every other Escalade in the dust. Right now, we got to remove this bracket right here that holds the computer. This is pretty much the brain of the vehicle, so we need to be super careful with it when we move this thing around and get it in its new location. All right, should slide it right out now. Shouldn't have said it might be new, probably would have came right out. Let me see what else I need to move out the way to get this thing. This thing up and get that cover off so that we can get to that one last bolt.
Fitting an aftermarket supercharger in a stock truck like Lindsay's 2016 Escalade is always tricky, especially in such tight quarters. So it's not surprising Justin's having trouble moving the computer to make room for that supercharger.
This little panel right here serves no other purpose other than keeping rocks and stuff from hitting the computer. Right, now that we got this last bolt out the way, you can see that our computer will be ready for our new bracket to relocate it. And there we go. The purpose behind a supercharger is to increase the airflow going to your engine. Your engine is basically an air pump, so the more air you can get in, the more air you can get out, the more horsepower you can make. So we're going to go ahead and put our belt on for our new blower setup. So what this is doing is putting more tension on this belt. It keeps it from slipping on the supercharger at high RPMs. So if you went to a smaller pulley, you really crank out some horsepower on this thing. So right now we're about to install our intercooler. It takes the hot air from the supercharger and cools it down before it goes in the engine. We can connect the two with our rubber couplers and hard piping All we gotta do is snake it through and make our connection. So this 4-inch pipe will support a lot of airflow, which in return means it'll support a lot of horsepower. All installed just like that.
We're making a huge custom lift for Tom's F-250, including this drop-down bracket we're installing right now. Well, let's get the holes in this thing. We'll put 5 holes down the side, and then we can through bolt them. Cut another piece for the back part of it to box it in. We can weld this right inside the frame. This thing, it's never gonna come off, man. It's one of the strongest parts of the whole truck. We're now mocking up the 4-link bars. There are 2 bars on each side, the pushing on one side and a heim on the other for adjustment. This connects the rear end to the frame.
So I'm about to lay out a jig so I can make the pins, and I'm gonna take it to this straight piece of C-channel, make it all squared. So when I put the other end and I weld the bar in between, the bushing ends are actually squared off with the 4-link bar. Now I get the jig all made, I go cut some DOM tubing to weld between the bushing and the heim joint. Now I got the piece of DOM in, fit nice and snug and straight. I can tack it. Then I'll remove it, put another one in, and just keep repeating the process. Once they're all done, tacked up, then I'll weld them all out all together in one shot.
The drop down is looking good. Next step, just putting the 4-link on.
4-link connects the rear axle to the frame and keeps it centered with your wheel well as it lifts up and down. We don't want this truck driving down the road sideways, so we're gonna make these 4-links equally.
Cool. Get that 4-link done. John, that looks good.
Hell yeah. We get started with the front 4-link bars now, huh?
Yeah, man, let's knock them out. Get them put on. We'll start building them bag mounts.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of compressed air to lift this 3-ton truck up to 22 inches. So John and Tim are mocking up the air compression system.
John's designed a pretty cool little air setup here where the tanks are going to mount, and then the bars are going to hold the compressors. We have 2 5-gallon tanks, and we're going to put 4 compressors across it to fill the tanks. Then we'll run lines to the valves to the airbags. We're going to cut some flat bar to bolt the 2 air tanks together to keep the system compact. So we made these pieces of flat bar to keep everything symmetrical, to keep everything even. And it's also going to work as mounts for the valves. With the tanks mocked up, we're going to tack the DOM tubing on the sides to keep it symmetrical. Good. This will give us a layout for the 4 new air compressors. That looks good. Now that the DOM is symmetrical, we'll evenly space out the compressors. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good job. The bars, the way they are, it all fans out. It's all symmetrical. Now what we can do is finish everything out here. And after this is powder coated, we can take this, flip it over, put these 4 bolts into it, and everything's a done unit.
Up on the air suspension on this truck, Heath has his hands full making the center console on this F-250.
This is our shape of our console. This is going to go up into the dash right here, have a subwoofer here, 2 more subwoofers going back down in that direction, and then we have plexiglass sides, lit all up, all white. It's going to be really cool. We'll get this nailed down, and then we'll router it out, and then we're going to make our other pieces that go on the inside. We're actually doing a process, it's called stacking, and what it is we're going to stack a bunch of these to get this shape. Made all my stack pieces, see, all the way up just to get this shape all the way around. So it gives a cool little design. Whenever you do this stack method, you waste a lot of material. We've got a bunch down there that's just scrapped out, but should be real strong. This box is definitely a one-off. There'll be some people trying to probably replicate it, but they're not going to be able to do the exact same thing we did here. That's as far as I can get on this console until Gerardo gets it all primed and painted out.
I have a plexiglass side, so that's going to be see-through. We're going to paint the inside of it pearl white to color match to the F-250. So we're going to go ahead and throw down the base, which is like an off-white. And then we're going to throw the pearl. And after that, we throw in the clear coat.
We're most of the way through the air suspension on Tom's lifted F-250. Because the truck is so high, the tube work that is normally hidden under the truck is going to be right at eye level. What I want to do with this is just have arching tube work all throughout, man.
Hell yeah.
Even the bag mounts have, rolled tubing. Just looks like it's reaching up and grabbing that thing and just coming down and holding it to the rear end.
I got 2 hands holding that bag.
Hell yeah. We'll get a ton of pipe, start rolling, and chopping it up.
We're going to bend, cut, and shape the tubing for the bottom support for the airbags. By the time we're done, we're probably going to use over 100 feet of tubing.
Such an angel? I need a big halo.
Everybody know you got the devil in you. Hey. We have a good idea for the design that's drilled and tapped. We're going to weld the back piece to the frame. We're going to bend some more DOM to come down as a bag mounts. What that's going to do is make it structurally strong and just give it a cool look that everything's rolled and flows together. Beautiful. John, you a bad mofo. I know. Once John welds all this DOM piping in place, we're going to check these floor links with the bag mounts. All right, we got our spacer out of the way. Let it down a little bit, John. This will articulate how the floor link's going to keep it all squared. As the bag raises, the rear end will go down like this. And then when you let the pressure out of the bag, this will show the rear end in full motion, articulating all the way through. And that's how this finished air suspension system is going to raise this truck up about 10 inches. There's another thing to this build. We went really aggressive with the bars, the way everything's bent, so we couldn't do no standard shock. We got the 4.0 shocks, the piggyback tubes, everything's all in one unit. These shocks are made to go through the desert, through the Bajas, through the jumping. Any way he wants to drive, the suspension, the shocks, the bags, 100% he will have no problems. We're going to tear it apart and get it color matched. We'll break it all down, send it out to powder coat, then we'll reassemble it later.
With the supercharger installed on Lindsay's 2016 Escalade, I'm going to have Charlie start working on the trim. And I want to pull off all the chrome. I want to paint it like an anodized look.
So we're doing all the trim black anodized?
Yeah, the factory trim with the wheels, the grill, every piece of the chrome.
All right, cool. I got you. Let's get to it.
Charlie's going to start out by spraying these parts black. Then he's going to spray a chrome. Then the last coat is going to be a transparent black right over the top. Gives it a transparent anodized look.
This is the black base for the mirror chrome. Get us some good coats on there before we start spraying the chrome on there. And then from there, then you do your candy concentrate in your clear, and then you just clear it until you get the desired color you're looking for.
I got everybody available working on this Escalade. We're trying to get the trim, the wheels, and that it's ready. Lindsay's definitely not the type of guy that waits for delivery, so I told him to come on, swing by the shop. And I can't wait to see this reaction. Whatever it might be, I can't wait to see it. Man, my man Bill. Ooh, Bill. Now you only get one here. My dude. Oh, drop me. I guess you like it. That's Mac Daddy Nasty. First things first, you see you coming down the road, you see the grill. We couldn't have you riding around with that stock grill in there. Everybody's got that, man. Little matte black mesh, man, with the little anodized insert. Man, it just really sets the whole tone of the whole thing.
It's like a whole different truck, man.
Man, it is. Just like the grill, we took off all the chrome to give it that anodized black look, man.
That changed the whole look.
It does. 26-inch billet wheels.
Yeah.
These are one-off wheels cut especially for you. There's nobody else that has these. No one.
Bill put the lens cut on it, and he anodized them to match the anodize.
Got a 4-inch drop on it, man.
Make it easy for me to get in. I appreciate that, dog. That's good looking out. Rain and love, baby.
You gotta check it out under the hood here.
I'm done with you, man. I'm done with you, Bill. Oh, man.
This thing hauls. Supercharger under the hood. It'll leave 2 black marks down the street. It's all intercooled, so it just sucks the cold air in.
Yeah.
Forces it right in the motor.
Extensive. They put their stamp on it, man. He really did an outstanding, spectacular job, man. I'm excited. We need to take it out. Well, let's do it.
Let's go.
Man, are you kidding me? What I'm talking about?
What do you think?
Are you kidding me right now? It didn't stop. Still rides really good. Like right now, I mean, from the grill to the wheels, and then top it off with the big power under the hood. I might just drive it, just drive for no reason. I won't have nowhere to go, but just start driving. I might drive in a circle. Yeah, just to drive it. Your guys are just priceless, man, and I'm super proud.
Every one of us bust our ass.
That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.
Making a team, creating the goal, and making it to the goal, man. And that's what we do.
The lift is all built for Tom's F-250. Now I'm fabricating the bar with these marine speakers that are going to go in the bed. We're going to tack it together, bolt the whole thing into the truck bed to see how it looks.
What we're trying to do is put the speakers in the bed without making any more holes. So what we're done is using the bed bolts here to bolt this down. We mount them in the corner here, which is a factory lift hooks. And when this goes together, it's going to lock and make a really solid mount for these speakers to sit on.
We're going to remove the whole thing as one piece. Once it's welded up, we're sending this and all the suspension parts we made to get powder coated.
Check that out, man. We had 28-inch wheels custom made for Tom's F-250. We finished making the suspension lift. These are some of the last things needed for the build. Jewelry for the truck.
That is bad.
It is bad. 28 by 16 with the 42-inch tire. He's gonna freak out.
That massive polished wheel is going to bring it all together as a finished product.
Yeah.
Our tire machine, Big Lou and I are going to do the old-fashioned way. Here, we'll put it on the ground, use some pry bars. Just really, really soak it real good, and it should slide right over. Now we're just going to take these pry bars, we're going to work our way around. Now we have the wheel over it. All we're going to do is put air in it, air it up. That's old-fashioned tire mounting 101. Done.
We're making custom door panels for Tom's truck. We're going to keep the top half factory. We're going to make new lower portions. Once I'm done, it's going to be seamless. You won't be able to tell where mine ends and theirs begins. You got to be real careful not to glue your fingers to everything, because it happens. Now, we'll just continue that all the way around. Now that I've got the shape I want, I'm going to go ahead and glass it up to give it an extra strength. That's it. Then I'm going to go ahead and smooth it out and get it ready to wrap. Now that that's dry, I'm going to go ahead and spray on the contact cement. Ain't no stopping now. So it matches the top part of the door. base of our panel raft. Now, we're gonna do our acrylic. Double pieces, double stick on here. I'm gonna start routing them out right now. We want to match the pearl white of the truck, so we're gonna highlight the door panels with some white acrylic. Cut out our acrylic. You can kind of see how it's going to fit in here. Lines up with the speakers, and then it leaves us our gap for our lighting that's going to go around the side and light this puppy up. Look good.
We've broken down the lift and suspension on Tom's F-250. Now it's off to powder. You know, Tom's the type of guy that's not going to cut this truck any slack. That's why we chose powder over paint. It's a way more durable finish.
So we've been powder coating stuff for Extensive for a long time. We actually prep the parts by hang them up, magnetize the parts so that the actual powder will adhere to the actual metal. Holds up with rocks, it holds up with water, it holds up with salt. It's a lot more durable. Now everything's been powder coated. We're getting ready to put it back in the oven at about 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Once the metal temperature reaches the 400, and then once that's done, we'll take them out, let them cool off, and hopefully Extensive will be happy with them.
We got the console for the F-250 back from paint. We got some cool lights installed. Now we're gonna load up the subwoofer. Ready? All I got left now is I gotta put the lights up top, do the wiring for the subwoofers. Then we're gonna put the plexiglass on the side, finish this console out. In Texas, we love our guns. We got caulking guns. To go ahead and seal this up. All right, ready? Now be very careful because we can't move it. Got it? Here we go. There she is. Isn't that pretty? And you can see once we get this cut out of our white acrylic, it's going to go in here and cover up all this nastiness. And then all you can see is the prettiness.
Yep. We have a new custom bumper for the F-250. Charlie's going to color match it pearl white.
This system here, you can actually go in and look up the colors by vehicle if you don't actually have the paint code. And then it tells you the grams of each toner that you're going to put in there. In this case, we're going to need 259 grams of this super white. It's just a little bit. And this one just takes a little touch. As you can see, there's a lot of different colors that go into something as simple as just white. That should be the perfect match that we need to get the color we need to put on these parts so we get them painted and we can get them back on the truck.
In my life, I push everything to the limit. I strive every day to build something as small as a trike that we work on. After we design and build them, we got to test it out. You know, we work hard, we play hard, we're at our best when we do both.
That's just another fun part of the business. I mean, we have a great time and totally blessed with what we do. It's cool to blow off some steam and just get out and do some donuts and crash into each other. You feel like you're 8 years old again on it.
You know, this type of stress relief isn't for everybody, but it works really well for me. Then we dust ourselves off, get right back to work. All the parts and pieces for Tom's F-250 are back from chrome, powder, and paint. We're going to put them all back together right now. As a final custom touch, we're going to put a ton of LED lights up underneath this thing. After dark, this thing's going to look like it's coming from outer space.
I'm going to run 24 LED rock lights. It's going to be high, so everybody's going to be able to look underneath this. So we don't need no wires. So anybody looks right there, it doesn't look like any wires.
Oh, what we have right here is the factory Ford front fender well. The middle ones are actually going to be for the front wheel. You know, to cover the front wheel. The sides are going to be for all the custom pieces that they fabricated.
We really want to highlight all the chrome accents on the white, so it's just going to make it pop right off.
Tom brought in his brand new F-250 bone stock. He had to have something just stood out over the top. I definitely think we're going to meet his expectations. We built this truck for Tom as a billboard for his company and for play. So we're going to meet him at the off-road park. This is where all the trucks, side-by-sides, and four-wheelers in Houston come. This truck's going to stand above them all.
Come on, man.
Today is the day.
And it's a nice day, and we're at the mud park, man. Come on, man. I didn't build this just for show.
You wanted a huge lift, huge tires, big stereo.
I needed it to make a statement when I pulled up.
You want the flashiness. No doubt we fulfilled that for you.
Bill invited me out here to the Extreme Off-Road Park to see my truck for the first time. I'm expecting something crazy. It better not be too clean, too, because we're going to get him dirty.
Man, let's get Timmy, bring this thing in.
Oh, that was 28. Yeah. Come on, man.
28-inch wheels with a 42-inch tall tire.
Man, look at the lip on that thing, man.
Those are one of the first of these known.
You better buy stock and dish soap, so I'm going to keep them dishes clean. And fun bags. When he came up and hit them bags, I was definitely excited. Timmy, look at this thing. Wow, man, this thing,
like it?
I love it.
We start off building the whole suspension is 100% all handmade in the shop.
I see that.
Bill gave us a lot of free rein and to get crazy with the pipe roller on this.
Man, ain't nothing like this out there.
I mean, the 4-link, the little drop down, huge 4-inch triple bypass shocks.
I'm about to have a bypass right now.
New bumper, color match grill.
I'm getting a little emotional right now. This thing looks so good.
There's another special in the bed for you. You said you wanted something you can listen to, hang out at a place like this?
I do.
We mounted 4 marine-grade speakers in the bed. You can unbolt it out of the factory bolts right there, pull it out if you need to haul something big, and bolt it back in.
Man, I ain't gonna be pulling that thing out, man. That's gonna stay in there.
Show them the interior.
He did a good job on these doors.
Those factory?
Check out the back of this thing.
I can see all the way through that.
Yeah.
There's speakers in there.
The subs are in the console. You see all the floating amps.
I know it looks good. Let me hear
Check it out.
Let me hear it.
Everybody's gonna hear him coming.
That hurt your ears or what?
Man, still ringing, still ringing.
That's many hours of hard labor.
I can tell.
Everybody in the shop, you pitched in to really pull this through for you.
I see something here that I'm going to have for a long time. I can't thank Bill and his team enough. Man, they do awesome work. Every one of them puts every bit of heart into this. I mean, it looks so good. I need to drive it, though.
Let's check this thing out, man.
Man, wipe your feet. Let's go. Oh, we getting crazy.
I think he likes it, too.
Come on, man. We're doing 58.
Is that for the 28 time?
That's for the 2.8. Get in. I'm in the clouds.
Hell yeah. Look around, man. It's all eyes on you. Met your standards?
Man, thank you, bro. Met my standards, man. This is above my standards.
Glad you left out of whack. It's totally smashed in.
This core support piece, we got a big gap.
We'll see what this thing can do.
What's up, man? I need to be able to get this bike in the back of this truck.
There ain't no way you can do that safely. We can make it happen by building you a custom air suspension trailer.
This is actually my first one to build, so no pressure.
That is awesome, bro.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal. For the most part, we do client builds here at Extensive. But I've been looking for a nice project to build a Baja truck out of, maybe even make a few. You got to start by buying it really, really low. My buddy Dave says he's got a truck for me that I have to come see. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Bill? Good to see you.
Dave deals in vehicles that he buys at auctions. Most are ready to drive off the lot. Some are just a little bit more than parts. When buying a vehicle like this, you have to do your due diligence. This it?
Yeah, that's it. It's hurt.
Does look a little hurt.
Yeah, it got hit hard.
Hard.
You wasn't playing.
What happened with this truck?
They don't tell me what happened at the auction, but it just got wrecked. It's got low miles, though. Real low miles.
What's real low miles?
633.
Oh, man.
Good rear end, good motor, transmission.
Man, it looks good for parts.
Man, still got the new car smell.
Oh, yeah, she's new.
Just don't got new car look.
Man, this interior's so new, we don't even have to do anything to it.
You know, I was going to go ahead and salvage it, use the motor and transmission in one of my trucks.
Oh, no, man. We can put this thing back together.
You think so?
This 2017 F-150 rolled off the factory floor with a 5.0-liter Coyote V8 engine. It's the perfect starting platform for what I want to build. Man, you can see the bed still straight with the cab. There's nothing wrong with the back of the frame. It's just the front. Man, I'm seeing making this thing into a Baja truck.
A Baja truck?
We can jump it.
Jump it?
Yeah, man.
Man, this thing is missing a lot, Bill.
Well, that's where you come in, buddy.
Bill's not the kind of guy to scare easy. And seriously, I don't think there's anything he can't build. But this one needs a ton of parts and fixes. And on our dollar, that's what really scares me. Man, I didn't know we were picking it up to build. I thought this was parts.
Yeah, that's what I admire a lot about Bill. He always sees things that other people don't. It is brand new, Bill, but it's in pretty bad shape.
That means it's cheap for me, right?
Yeah, we can run a special. We always do.
Man, we're going to get it running. And you can come check it out, man. You can be there when it happens.
I'd like to be there. Let me know.
I trust you, but do you really want to take this pile home?
Come on, man, of course. Yep. Most of the time, you should just strip a truck like this for parts, but I've been doing this a long time. You see the right truck? It's endless possibilities. We're going to turn a pile of bent-up crap into something that's going to be really cool, man. I've been wanting to build a Baja pre-runner style truck for a while. Street legal truck, you can race and jump. This truck is a perfect thing. We gotta launch it.
By launch?
So,
how high are you talking?
Man, at least this high. Yup. You know, Baja truck is just made to take any terrain it can possibly go through. Sand, mud, gravel. That's what a truck like this is built for. Just the aggressive stance. You look at it, it just looks pissed off. It's in bad shape. I mean, you see, that's immediately what you see. To me, half of it's here. That's a head start. What better way to get a truck like this, very little money, and turn it into something really cool and able to jump up into the air.
Well, Timmy, here she is.
What are we doing with this? Taking motor out, trans out, wheels, tires off. A couple of doors look good.
Come on, man. We're gonna build a Baja truck.
Out of this.
Out of this. The truck is brand new. And on this, we're gonna have a little bit higher ground clearance in the front than the rear to go off-road, to jump things, and still be able to drive it on the street every day. Big, wide fenders to go along with those suspensions, so the control arms and everything have to be really long to be able to jump. Wide bed sides in the back just for that aggressive look. Bed cage in the back. Big, huge shocks.
We're going to give this thing a second life and even better than it ever rolled off the assembly line. Spares in the back. We want the whole Baja look. I'm going to drive it around. Who knows? Somebody might need it in their life.
So you're going to drive like Bill, and we're going to drive it to the max. Anything we fix after that is roadworthy 100% because you drive,
hell yeah,
200% worse than anybody I know. Or nothing breaks, we'll just keep it as a shop truck.
Take it to lunch every day.
Lunch, Bill's credit card for gas.
No? I'll sell it then.
He thinks he's going to sell it when he finishes it? I'll believe it when I see it.
Looking at this truck, you can tell it got hit really hard in the front passenger side, and it's obvious we're going to replace body panels. But man, we need to tear this thing down and see what kind of frame damage there is. The back's good. I don't have any concern at all with this. Let's get the front of this thing all tore apart.
Front end looks a little bit jacked up. You wouldn't even call it a front end.
It's like somebody had already started repairing it. I seen it all wrapped up. Now I see it got hit way harder than I thought it did. Man, the whole throttle body's missing.
Probably gonna need a new one anyways. Get some power.
Well, let's get it tore apart, man. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we need. Dang. You see the little charcoal canister is totally busted. The deep gouge in the cross member. Gouge in the transmission pan. The front of the frame is totally out of whack. You can tell somebody's already tried to repair it. I'm nervous about how the uncompleted repair job is done. Hopefully from the point they repaired back is all good. But we won't know anything until we run the string line and go from there. We're going old school to measure the straightness of the frame. Plumb bob's just a tool of just knowing if you have a straight line or not. Sometimes you don't have a point you can just run a tape measure right off of. So if you drop a plumb bob, which is just a weighted string, that gives you a perfectly level string to measure off of. So you can measure from each side of the frame to the plumb bob to know if you're perfectly center on that. If it lines up with your horizontal string, you know you're
off by 1/8.
At the same time, we'll level this thing. So the level will tell us if it's out of whack this way, and the string line will tell us if everything's completely straight that way.
It go up a little bit on the passenger side. Pretty good. Check out that front truck. Aha, it's out of whack.
Make it level. Let me see how far off it is. The front end is definitely tweaked a little bit. It's a little off center. We want this thing to drive perfectly straight down the road. We want everything 100% in line, no alignment issues. We don't want it pulling off to one side or another. We're going to be abusing this thing. Well, I am. We're going to put it to the test. So I want to make sure everything's going to hold up to what we're going to throw at it. Thing we need to do on the F-150 is repair the frame. It's not just the damage from the accident, but the bad repair job. Elu's going to cut that out. We're going to start all over. Down. All right, perfect. Elu's got all this cut loose. It lines up perfect with our string line. Plumb bob is 100%. It's perfectly level. The last step is just weld this thing up. Man, Lulu, that looks real good, man. Can't even tell anything ever even happened to it. It's just not the frame needs to be fixed, but the whole passenger side core support was damaged in the accident. So Rudy's going to pull off the bad piece and install a new one.
This F-150 has been in a real bad accident. So what we found was this core support piece, it should be nice and straight here and then curve out. But as you can tell, if we put a straight edge here on the straight part, we got a big gap here. So a little gap here is going to create an even bigger gap here on the end. So we're going to go ahead and pull this piece out, bring in a new piece. It's nice nice and straight. That way, when our fenders go on, they should bolt up nice and perfect. So the core support is the structural frame of the front end. Our headlights, radiator, grill, bumper, all that bolts up. It needs to be nice and straight for everything to fit perfectly. We got our new core support fender piece in. As you can see, this one's nice and straight. So we'll go ahead and bolt it all up. After that, we'll be good to go.
As much as anything else, I think we're in the problem-solving business. And today, Chad and Melinda, they got a good one for us. They own a local bar and restaurant, and they build their own custom bikes, and they paint everything orange. I mean, everything. What's up, man?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good, man.
Known Bill for about 15 years. One of the first trucks that I ever worked on. Bill did the air ride suspension on it for me.
What you got here? This new one you built?
Yeah, we got it done not too long ago. It's a 08 Road King that we built. Put the 30-inch front wheel on it. Fully bagged it out. Of course, our orange color on it.
Man, it looks good.
Thank you. But we're having a little issue. I need to be able to get this bike in the back of this truck. So I need to come up with some type of ramp system, some kind of mechanism that'll fold out, something.
Man, come on. You can't be... There ain't no way you could do that safely.
Got to figure out a way to get it hauled or
some air suspension trailer that it can drop completely flat on the ground. You can ride this bike right up on it, strap it down. Easy. And safe.
A custom trailer. That sounds expensive.
What's expensive is dropping this off of a ramp coming out of the back of this truck or hurting yourself.
Bill's vision is just different than anybody else's. When it comes to metalwork, he's a true artist. My thing is, of course, is go with the orange theme. Everything's got to match.
Hell yeah. We can powder coat it orange, no problem. Put some black wheels on it. Make everything flow and match and look totally custom.
You good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, man. Let's go right up. Let's get you going, man. You can't be having no ramp. Come on.
All right, let's do it.
In 2000, I had an idea for an air suspension motorcycle trailer that is set completely flat on the ground. Had a bike, didn't have a truck at the time, so problem solved, air suspension trailer. A lot of people just see a steel rack, but when you have a steel rack, it's endless possibilities of what you can build. Anybody that's ever put a motorcycle in back of a truck, they know how sketchy it is and how dangerous and how much it's going to cost. And this just solves all the problems. Just makes it super easy. Ride the bike right up on it, strap it down, air it up, and you're on your way.
Jamie's one of our best fabricators and a biker himself, so he's going to help me build this trailer.
Thanks, man.
Each and every one of these trailers start out on the same template, but we customize each one depending on the style and size of the bike. And this one, it's got to be orange.
So there's a lot of tube on this trailer. It's probably about maybe close to 60 foot. It needs to be pretty strong to hold up his bike. It's a pretty heavy bike. So everything needs to be cut exactly. There's a lot of angles on this trailer. If I get one of them wrong, it could look crooked. It could not be the same on each side. I need to ditto each side and make everything perfect to the jig. So it's real important all my cuts fit nicely. This is actually my first one to build, so no pressure.
Me and Jamie worked late into the night to make this custom trailer for Chad and Melinda. The frame is mostly welded up. Now it's time for the airbags. Jamie cut one of two suspension links, so we're going to put this bar through it, and then it's going to pivot on the bolt. This is actually going to be the suspension to the trailer. So you see there's no traditional trailer axle going all the way through it. The spindle of the wheel is going to be right here mounted. We're going to trim it all down so the fender will weld right to it, but that's it.
stack it. All right, cool. Hell yeah.
This is the same basic system we use on our cars and our trucks. And you can see when you put air in this, as soon as you hit a switch, the valve opens, air goes right into the bag, lifts the arm up, trailer raises. So that's basically the whole suspension in this thing. Now to fit the big wheels. Yeah, get that up there, a few quick measurements, and start wrapping it up. You know, we don't have a fixture for this, so every one of these are custom to the wheel, the tire, everything varies on this. So we build everything one off. You see the links we go to make sure everything looks 100% straight. Jump up, measure that real quick. Nobody's going to notice if it's 100% perfect, but they're damn sure going to notice if it's crooked.
Nah, that's perfect.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that the frame is straight, we're going to install a long travel suspension on this F-150, which is specially designed for the pre-runners.
Knowing Bill, I know he's going to drive this out of this thing. So these control arms need to be long, strong, and sturdy, which they are. It's going to be perfect for giving us that suspension travel to make sure we don't roll this thing over. It's the last thing this truck wants to do. We're installing the coilovers and shock. A coilover is a shock and spring compacted into one unit. This allows adjustment for no purpose. Of course, Bill's going to go with the biggest shock he can. He needs the biggest shock to have the softest landing.
Push it down at the same time?
The shocks keep the truck from bouncing, so it sticks to the road better, no matter how bumpy the road gets. We got our whole setup here installed. Our spindle, the lower control arm, upper control arm, our coilovers, and our shocks. Our wheel is going to stick out pretty far out from the body due to our longer control arms. Give us a little bit more travel on our suspension. As much travel as we can get, the better for us.
Now, Elu and Rudy are installing the brakes. This thing is going to take a beating. It's very important to have super strong stainless steel brake lines.
We don't want the line getting kinked up or ripped up, because if the brake line breaks loose and gets cut, this thing ain't stopping. We really need this brake line to work.
Elu is installing the limiting strap. The limiting strap keeps the suspension all nice and tight, so when you leave the ground, it just won't overextend and get all in a bind.
Now that I have all the limited strap mounted and the brake line mounted, well, the next step is to mount these reservoirs that are just hanging out right now, but we're going to fasten them down for whenever he's up in the air, they won't be all over the place.
That's in. That's perfect.
The frame on this F-150 is good as new. To turn this thing into a pre-runner, we're going to add some reinforcements. I mean, 4,000-pound truck landing nose first, it's going to take a beating. So we want to build a brace goes from tower to tower. So when we jump this thing, the towers just don't fold in. They're so tall. That's a ton of leverage coming down.
Sounds good.
We'll roll a piece an inch and a half, schedule 80, something real heavy, and then we'll bend it so it gives it a nice little contour, little style to it. All right, man. Get my little notepad out here. Got 9 and 7/8. I'll roll it and we'll just lay it out on the table. I just want a little bit of...
More, you try that too.
No, that's good. Just don't want it straight. I want a little style to it. But going off the little quick, simple sketch and the measurements I took off the truck and just transferring it over onto a piece of paper so it's actual size. Set my angle in the old computer here. As long as I transferred my measurements to my paper correct, it should fit perfect. First time. Should. This machine uses a hydraulic piston to force a precise bend into our pipes. I say that's it. Now we just gotta cut it. We got our marks. Next step, chop it up, put it on.
set it down.
Man, that'll work. You know, with this being bent so much, it makes it weak here. When you bend a pipe, it weakens it a little, so I'm gonna double it up and make this thing super strong. Let's bend one more. We'll kind of lean them apart and we'll have extra strength, man, for jumping.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot stronger.
That's it, man. That looks good. Let's tack it. Man, that thing's gonna be super strong, Lulu. That's never gonna fold up on us. Right in the middle of this, man, to hold all this together, it'll be pretty tight. The engine brace for the F-150 is almost ready. Rudy's burning out a plate so we can tie this thing all together. It's gonna be super strong.
Go ahead and hand it off the bill. You can go ahead and weld it on the Baja truck.
Ooh. How's that look? Man, that looks good, Rudy. Tack this thing in. We're just gonna pull this thing off, take it over the table, weld it up. This is one of the things that nobody's ever gonna see, but I know it's there. Every part and piece of this is done right. And that's how we did it. All welded up, ready to go to the powder coater. Because we're turning this truck into a Baja style pre-runner, it has longer front suspension. It's gonna make the wheels stick out farther than the factory fender wells. So I'm having Charlie and Fernando modify the fenders and the bedsides to make this thing all fit.
Being that Bill wants to jump this thing, we need to make sure we've got a ton of clearance in here, so that way that when he does jump, there is clearance and the tires don't hit the inner wheel wells and he doesn't have a problem with that. So the first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna drill out all the rivets that they have in here holding this out, and then we'll remove this outer shell, and then once we remove that, we'll trim it all off, and we'll use a piece of this to actually keep it extended out, and then we'll build our own wheel well and make it all uniform. This piece is already all mocked in of where we think we want it at, and so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the fiberglass bedside in and double check everything, check our measurements, make sure they're all good to go so we can continue on with the rest of the form of the fender weld. Looking in here, you can see how we made everything mount to the factory edge, so when you look at it all in one piece, it just, everything flows in like if it was made that way. You know, once we get it all mounted and attached to there, you ain't gonna know that we ever even did this. Where's we going? Alright, thanks guys. Appreciate it, man.
Charlie's laying out the fiberglass mat to mend this thing all together. It's gonna be super strong and super light. Fernando is filling in all the little cracks and crevices with body filler, so it's gonna be and we just got this thing back from powder coat. Everything looks good as it always does. Chad is going to be ecstatic. It matches with everything in his collection. So it's going to put everything in this tongue box. All the essentials to make this thing work is all right here. Cool. What we got so far, obviously the battery, air compressor, and 3 sets of valves. So we have a valve for the tongue, a valve for the left, a valve for the right. No matter what the load is, if it's offset load, you can add a little more pressure to the left. Or if you got a little more weight on the right, you add a little more pressure to the right. Ready for that tank. Yeah. Cool, we got everything mounted in place. Only thing left to do is just wiring and run some lines. That's it. Every Sunday. They're going to be showing up here any minute to his new bar, so I figured what better place to give him his trailer.
That's freaking awesome. Man, damn, bro, that's in this, bro. That's over the top.
So good.
That is insane.
So you gotta have the orange and black, I know.
Man, you know, I wouldn't accept it if it wasn't. So it's perfect.
It's full air suspension. Of course, you know, it has 3 bags. It has a bag on each wheel and a bag on the tongue. So you can leave this thing hooked up to any vehicle and drop this thing completely flat. So it's super stable. You know, you ride your bike right up on it, strap it down, air it up, you're good to go.
It doesn't get much better than that, bro.
Yeah, man.
When we talked about doing something like this, that's why we went to Bill. You know, I knew he'd come up with something that would work perfect for us, and just the fact that he can, you know, build something out of nothing is amazing.
Check it out. Let me show you how to work this thing.
Yeah, let's check this thing out.
Everything's inside here. All the switches. You see the tank, compressor, valving, everything is all in here. Hit the 2 switches, air the back up.
That's freaking awesome. That is awesome, bro. Man, that's insane. Oh, when Bill hit the switches, I mean, that was really cool.
Yeah.
For it to be 3 different bags, 3 different switches, you know, all fully adjustable, to be able to work behind any vehicle that we pull it behind is going to be really cool. Definitely feel safe putting my bike on it. And the last thing to see is how it fits on the trailer.
Yeah, hopefully it fits.
There you go.
Wow.
Man, that's insane.
Man, it fits. When Chad rode that bike up on the trailer, it's obvious it's 100% package complete now.
Perfect match.
Bro, that's insane.
That looks really good.
Man, this is way better than ramps, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
And cooler.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Definitely cooler. It definitely flows.
Put this thing up, man. See how it picks it up.
8 Voyage.
Oh, wow.
That is
So glad you got that.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this looks really good. The bike, the trailer, the truck. You did a fantastic job.
That's awesome, bro.
I am so happy that we had Bill build this for us. It just looks amazing, and I'm super excited to get it out on the road.
Now that the front suspension's all installed on the Baja, it's time to get that rear end in.
But I'm just hanging off the back. Make sure the truck don't go forward. Good?
Oh, we got to remove the factory leaf springs, but everything's in the way. The gas tank is coming off, and we're moving the exhaust just to get to that 1 bolt to get the springs out.
You're good? This is our factory leaf spring, and this is our new spring we got right now. You can see the difference. One's way thicker than the other one. Our new leaf springs packed with a whole lot more leaves for better absorption, whereas our factory one only has about 3. So this was pretty much made for potholes, and this was made for big ass jumps. And now we got the leaf springs on. We're gonna go ahead and throw the rear end on there and bolt it up. Whoop. All right, hold it. Get that side fastened down. We got the U-bolt plates. Hang on for a second, Rudy. When you're down on your luck, just hang in there.
Mission. All we need to do now is install the shocks, new wheels and tires, and it's ready for a test run. Installing the rear leaf springs on the Baja F-150. I love how this thing's turning out with the big shocks, 16 inches of travel, you know, attached to the new long travel leaf springs. I can't wait to get the big wide fenders on it and go test this thing out. Matter of fact, we'll put the wheels on it, we'll see what this thing can do. The stock tires just aren't going to cut it, so we're replacing it with 37-inch high-performance off-road tires. I really want to see how the suspension does, how it reacts when it hits bumps and dips, and there's all kind of little fine-tuning tricks that you can do to this type of suspension. but, don't know till you really put your foot to the floor and see what kind of reaction you get out of the truck itself. Putting bigger tires on it. It's always a concern for not enough power. I call this the spot test. About spot size. That was fun. Man, overall, it was a good run. I mean, there's definitely some tuning on the shocks, but we got to get this thing up in the air, at least over spot. I mean, it shouldn't be very hard to do. We need a lot more power and a lot bigger jump. When I get back, I'm calling Justin and put me one bad turbo system on here, man. What's up, man?
So it's Carlton.
So I want to launch this thing, and it just don't have the power to do what we need to do.
Well, good thing you got this Coyote motor, man. These 5.0s are good platforms. We can do a single turbo, something that'll come in, hit hard, hit like nitrous, man. It'll be good for this pre-runner build. You can see about 20 horsepower per pound of boost.
It'll be enough for Bill.
No Bill, man, no telling.
What's the plan?
What we can do is we can use the factory flanges, and we can build from those flanges forward to our turbo.
All right, I guess start taking that exhaust down.
If we're going to tie into the factory manifolds, it's easier just to go ahead and use the factory OEM flanges and build from this point forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut these off, and we're going to try to save it where we can use these O2 bones so we can use the factory flanges. Matt, this one should be ready, man.
You're a good start.
We'll start working on the hot side, which is everything on the turbine side of their turbocharger. Buddy Matt, he's going to start on the cold side, which is like the intake and the discharge off the compressor housing. The hot side of this turbo kit is what feeds the turbine wheel. That's where, I guess, the magic happens. The air comes in, and it pressures it up and pushes it out into the intake manifold.
A turbocharger is basically an air pump. It forces more air into the engine. You get more air.
This thing should spool really, really fast with the dual inlets feeding off of each bank of this 5-liter Coyote motor. So now we got the turbocharger bolted in. We're going to go ahead and start connecting to our intercooler.
Matt's trying to install the intercooler on the F-150, but it just won't fit.
End tanks were kind of hitting on the inside of the frame rails. So we went ahead and we cut them to get it to fit. Now we got to modify and fabricate new pieces so we can go ahead and put our inlets on our intercooler. After we cut it, the coupler that slides on there, it'll want to blow off. So we put a little bead around it to keep it from coming off. I'm going to cut it on the saw and then make our bend. So now that we have our end cap tacked into place, we got 2 more plates that we need to make, and then we can go ahead and weld this side out. Now that we have our end tanks modified on our intercooler where it fits in between the frame rails, we're going to go ahead and get it installed now.
Looks like it was made to be there.
We're going to give it a once over. We still got to run our oil supply line, our drain line. We got a couple fittings that we need to install. This is our downpipe on the fender zone. We'll know exactly where we need to go with it.
Charlie and Tim are finishing up the body modifications on the front of this Baja.
We'll set the fenders up here and rough them in and see what we got.
Yeah. With way wider fenders and a fiberglass hood.
Right now, I'm making sure that the fiberglass fender doesn't hit none of the original mounts or on the cab or anything like that. So if it does, we're going to mark it now, trim it out, and then test fit it again to see how we look. Boy, look at that. That's 100% better right there.
Let's grab the hood.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
This thing is going to be a beast.
Yeah, it's going to look real cool.
always told me that when I was little, I loved getting those little die-cast model cars we had to put together. He would buy me one, and then he would see me put it together, and then he'd see me taking it apart, and then putting it together again. It was always a fascination in tearing apart vehicles and building something better than what we already had. Our biggest tool and one of my favorite tools is our plasma cutter. Before, there was plenty of parts that we would have to do hands-on, whereas now, computer does it all in what I would do before. Bill hates computers, and to me, computers is one of the biggest things I like to use. When we first got the machine, nobody really knew how to run it or who was going to run it. And I asked him, I was like, hey, so who's going to do it? And he just kind of like looked at me and was like, well, who else? Working with Bill, he does have high expectations for everybody, which is a good thing. He doesn't want anybody else to fail, because the way I see it is if we fail, then he fails. So, of course, he's going to want us to exceed in everything that we do, but of course, he always wants it done in 2 minutes. So.
We finished the frame and the bodywork on the Baja build, but one day I'm gonna sell it. So I'm gonna pick a paint color that's just gonna turn heads. Charlie Murphy.
So, man, what you got now?
Man, I need to pick a color for the old Baja.
Man, what color you thinking about?
Let me get this paint chip off and see what's up. Probably one of them two.
One of them two? That one right there?
That's it, man. I chose a burnt orange metallic that'll make this Baja look like none other.
So this is what we got here. This is the color that Bill wanted. It has a lot of pearl in it and a lot of metallic in it. And as you can see, it looks real good under the light. The first thing I painted when I was a kid, I painted a bicycle. You know, I started out rattle cannon, and you know, and it started from there, and everything just kind of escalated. And then I ended up painting a 71 GMC, which was, you know, my truck. Me and my uncle did it together, and that was an experience. And then from that point on, it was over for me. There was no going back. So this here is an unusual color for the Baja truck because half a gallon is pearl. Usually you got like 15, 20 grams. This one here's got 700 grams of pearl, and then it's got 600 grams of a different pearl, so that's half a gallon right there, you know what I mean? So this is gonna be beautiful out in the sun when he jumps over Spot's head.
When I see something in my head, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. This F-150 was a little rough when I first got it. We transformed it into a totally different truck. Dave is in for a huge surprise. He has no idea. I'm heading out with my guys to test out this Baja truck. As promised, I'm inviting Dave to come check it out.
Y'all got that truck done, huh?
You're going to be blown away when you see this truck.
Really?
It's not the same truck that we got from you.
Damn, that is completely different.
Nah, I told you so.
You sure that's the same truck? Damn, I cannot believe it.
Yeah, man. Sure you can do it.
Bill can do it.
In typical Bill fashion, you know.
Gotta tear it up.
Told you.
You sure that's the same truck?
Promise you.
Come on. Bill, you sure that's the same truck?
Man, I can see why Dave is shocked. This thing doesn't look anything like it used to.
Well, you did a lot of work to that thing.
Man, a lot. Started off fixing the frame. We put the frame back together, so it's nice and straight now. The integrity's back in there.
I never would have thought you'd have been able to fix it.
We went ahead and took off all the old suspension, what was left of it, threw on their new long travel suspension, put some big old shocks and coilovers in the front.
Man, it looks good.
Of course, you see the color change on the whole truck.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the grill, the bumpers, and the super wide fiberglass fenders and bedsides, man. That thing just looks so angry and pissed off when it's coming at you.
It does.
Little bed cage in the back holding the spares.
Sounds like I heard a turbo on that thing.
Yeah, man. You know, we had a little test drive and it just wasn't getting it, so it needed a little more power.
You gotta have more power. That's always.
Custom made a whole turbo setup for this truck. Big stainless exhaust piping through it, intercooler tubes, all that stuff. Did it right.
We about to see how much power it's got.
Yeah.
Man, I said I wanted this thing to jump over Spot.
Last time we couldn't even get it over Santa. Man, and now it's time to give it another try with that new turbo.
There we go.
Whether it's dropping a vehicle down low, raising one up high, or jumping one through the air, you got to have a good team. And I got some of the best around. I can't thank my guys enough.
Bad.
There it is. You got this. You got it.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's going to work. I told you. I know. Yeah. Hey, Bill, I got to tell you, I never thought you'd have pulled it off. Man, that truck was hit hard, and you made it come out good. I really like that thing back. You think we can do something around 75?
Oh, man, come on. That thing's still too new, man. I need a little bit. Let the new wear off. I'll give you first choice, man, when it comes time.
I'm interested. Let me know.
All right. I wasn't planning on selling this truck today, but, after I'm